So how does our current environment influence how we respond every day?
Drastically influences it. And if you can imagine what's going on in your current context, you almost can call it the psychological threat context. What else is coming in and providing a stress load on you? And it can be things like, hey, I'm changing job, or for example, I am moving house, I'm getting married, I'm getting divorced, we're having a kid, I've got a parent that's going through dementia, I've got to be the care person for an invalid, I've got a kid that's just had an accident. All of those things all bundled together to put us under a larger and larger load. And if you've got a big load going on like that, that's probably not the time to decide, hey, I want to do a change in my career. You might want to settle down and wait for things to settle down. Well, the research done on being in control is huge, and it impacts health. It impacts recuperation. They've done some studies which basically, when people are in control of their situation in a hospital, on average, they'll come out for the same disease or illness. They'll come out a day earlier if they feel like they've got control over. It's simple things like,
I have a personal example of that. First, I had non-consciously, I think, or maybe it was somewhat forced to some degree, but I had relinquished control over my destiny, specifically in my career, to an unknown group of individuals. And so there was, and you remember this because I was talking to you about it for a couple of months, there was several, probably about 2.5 months where I was just going through the cycles and probably non-consciously trying to prove that it was necessary for me to stay and all of these different things. Then in the midst of the summer, which was about 2.5 months ago, I just had this realization that part of the reason I was feeling just this, I don't know, anguish and anxiety and all these things, because I wasn't in control. It had nothing to do with the actual job necessarily. It had to do with my destiny had now been relinquished to somebody else. And I choose to, my destiny is only, it's mine and God's. At the end of the day, those are the two people that have influence over it. My spouse, of course, has influence over it. But in terms of who can control where it goes, it's just those two. And when I took it back and said, you know what? Things are different now. I'm going to move forward. When I said those words out loud, it was powerful because my perspective changed.